ABC World News Tonight.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with a historic American victory today in Lyon, France. Team USA completing their World Cup quest, shutting out the Netherlands 2-0. Superstar Megan Rapinoe opened the scoring with a penalty kick in the 61st minute before a breakaway goal by Rose Lavelle that helped clinch the match. Fans gathering around the world at watch parties. Check out the celebratory scene there in Kansas City. The victory gives Team USA back-to-back World Cup championships, a dynasty status, as players and supporters demand the team receive equal pay. ABC's Adrian Bankert is there.
That's it. U.S. wins their fourth World Cup.
Tonight, Team USA champions again, establishing themselves as one of the greatest teams to ever represent our flag. This win didn't come easy. The team used to scoring goals early throughout the tournament went scoreless in the first half. The Netherlands with a mighty defense.
We just have no quit in us. We're so tight and we'll do anything to win.
The match, a knockdown, drag-out fight at times, included this scary head-to-head collision with Kelly O'Hara. But soon the star of the tournament, Megan Rapinoe, just back from injury, breaking the stalemate with this penalty kick.
Milestone goal for Rapinoe.
The goal sends fans back home in America into a frenzy. But it was this stunner from one of our youngest stars, Rose Lavelle, that sealed the deal.
The biggest goal of Rose Lavelle's life.
I'm so proud of her. She's superstar, not even in the making. She's straight up superstar at this point.
After the game, tears and jubilation. This record fourth World Cup championship for Team USA, now the gold standard in women's soccer. Jill Ellis becoming only the second person, male or female, to ever coach back-to-back championship teams.
They put their hearts and soul into this journey, and I can't thank them enough. It's been fantastic.
And for the legions of American fans in the stands, some getting behind the team's fight to be treated the same as their male counterparts. Most of the people here today basking in this historic win.
My heart was pumping the whole time. It was really nerve-wracking.
Number one, baby, number one.
Such an incredible day for Team USA. And Adrian Bankert joins us now live from Lyon. And Adrian, the celebrations continue. A major parade announced to honor their victory.
Yes, that's right, Tom. In fact, some of these matches, all of these matches felt like home games with tens of thousands of Americans in the streets and in the stands of Lyon. And they're going to get more love, too, with a ticker tape parade in New York on Wednesday. Tom?
We look forward to that. All right, Adrian, thank you. And we'll have much more on Team USA later in the broadcast. But now we want to switch gears to a much bigger story that we're following right here out of the U.S. Billionaire financier in custody. Sources say he's accused of trafficking girls in Florida and New York for sex. Jeffrey Epstein, already a convicted sex offender, was arrested at New Jersey's Teterboro Airport after returning on a flight from France. Authorities seen raiding his home in Manhattan. And while the exact charges are under seal, it is a disturbing new chapter for a high-profile suspect accused of being a predator. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Federal investigators raiding the Manhattan mansion of multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Agents hauling out boxes of the financier's belongings. Sources say Epstein was arrested in a covert operation as he landed on a flight from France. The indictment against him sealed, but sources tell ABC News charges will likely include conspiracy and sex trafficking of minor girls in New York and Florida. Some of the allegations against Epstein dating back more than a decade. Courtney Wild, one of his accusers, telling ABC News about an alleged encounter when she was just 14, giving Epstein a massage.
He asked me to get comfortable, to take, my clothes off.
She claims he then touched her and himself. Wild says Epstein was often surrounded by a cadre of underage girls.
That's what was weird, was because even at that time, for me, I was 14, I had braces on. I remember standing in his kitchen and he also had a lot of girls there all the time.
In 2007, Epstein faced potential federal indictment for running a scheme to recruit underage girls to his home for lewd massages and, in some cases, sex.
Basically, if you take off your clothes, you're going to make more. If you let him do things to you, you're going to make more.
Like do things, you mean touch you?
Yeah, touch you in inappropriate places.
The Florida power broker struck a plea deal, serving just 13 months in county jail, registering as a sex offender. The agreement also halted a federal grand jury investigation and gave Epstein and any potential co-conspirators immunity from federal charges in Florida. The U.S. attorney who authorized that deal, the current Secretary of Labor, Alexander Acosta. Acosta questioned about the case in his confirmation hearing.
Department of Justice has defended the actions of the office in that matter under both President Bush and President Obama's administrations.
Courtney Wild, a plaintiff in a long-running lawsuit challenging Epstein's immunity, tonight telling ABC News she's overwhelmed Epstein is off the streets.
She felt like I was abandoned by everyone. 11 years later, we still don't know the why.
And we reached out to Labor Secretary Acosta's office. They had no comment. Epstein is expected to appear in court tomorrow when that indictment is unsealed. And Tom, his attorneys tonight have no comment.
All right, Ariel, thank you for that. Next tonight to politics and our new ABC News poll showing President Trump hitting his highest approval rating yet with 44% approving of his presidency, but 53% who still disapprove. And after his own administration's report raised questions about unhealthy conditions inside migrant holding centers, the same poll shows just 40% approve of the president's handling of immigration. Tonight, he's firing back at his critics, and ABC's Stephanie Ramos is on Capitol Hill.
Tonight, the president is defending his border patrol while firing back at a New York Times report detailing deplorable conditions in this migrant facility in Clint, Texas.
The New York Times story is a fabrication. I saw visually, I had people there that told me the job that they are doing is incredible.
The joint investigation from the New York Times and El Paso Times is based on accounts from unnamed Border Patrol agents who saw, quote, outbreaks of scabies, shingles, and chickenpox spreading among the hundreds of children who were being held in cramped cells. The stench of the children's dirty clothing so strong, it spread to the agents' own clothing. No pictures from inside the facility accompany the article, but these images in a government report out just this week show the, quote, dangerous overcrowding in other Texas holding facilities. Some adults in these cells being held for a month at a time with limited or no showers. You can see their hands pressed against the windows. The president tonight indicating migrants are being held in better conditions here than in their home countries.
If you look, people that came from unbelievable poverty, that had no water, they had no anything, where they came from, those are people that are very happy with what's going on because relatively speaking, they're in much better shape right now.
Also saying he'll open the centers to the press.
I want the press to go in and see them. We're going to have some of the press go in and see because they're crowded, and we're the ones that were complaining about they're crowded.
Stephanie Ramos joins us now from Capitol Hill. And Stephanie, today, the acting head of the Department of Homeland Security acknowledged the challenging situation at the border. House Democrats are calling for him to testify later this week.
That's right, Tom. This will be the time for lawmakers to get a real status report on these facilities. What's not clear is if McAleenan and other officials will show up. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos, thank you. That new poll also revealing the state of play for President Trump as the race for 2020 heats up. Several Democrats have a chance to beat the president in a head-to-head matchup, with former Vice President Joe Biden still in the best position. But that news comes as Biden attempts to move on from those controversial remarks about working with segregationists in the Senate. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Just 24 hours after expressing regret over his controversial comments about finding common ground with segregationists in his early days as a senator.
If any comments I made were taken in a way that people took offense from them, then I am truly sorry for that. That was not my intention.
Joe Biden speaking directly to black voters in a pivotal early voting state.
That's why I chose here in South Carolina and chose an audience that in fact would be the most likely to have been offended by anything.
One of his most vocal critics, Senator Kamala Harris in South Carolina too.
He is right to recognize the impact of his words, and I applaud him for doing that and having the courage to do it. There is still plenty of disagreement between he and I.
She challenged Biden on his record on race from the debate stage, signaling he's out of touch with today's Democratic Party. But according to our latest poll, Biden is the only candidate with a clear edge over Trump in a general election matchup, leading the president by 10 points among registered voters. 4 other Democrats in a tight race with Trump, including Harris, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg. But one key Democrat not hinting at an endorsement yet,
Though the former vice president touts his close relationship with President Obama, Michelle Obama says the former first family will watch the primary play out.
It is early. It's like trying to figure out who's going to win the World Series on the first 7 games. I mean, that's where we are right now. It is so early.
And Rachel Scott joins us now. Rachel, there was another good number for President Trump in our new poll. For the first time, more than half of the Americans approve of the president's handling of the economy.
Yes, Tom, 51% approve. And when you compare it to other issues, the president's approval rating is among the strongest when it comes to the economy. Now, the Trump campaign knows that this is a critical issue for voters, so they plan to use his record as a key part of their campaign message. Tom?
Rachel, thank you. Next tonight, the severe weather threat, multiple confirmed tornadoes as powerful thunderstorms pop up for millions. Take a look at this video from southern New Jersey where a brief but dangerous tornado just lifts a car straight off the ground. In Boston, a direct hit on this sailboat, badly damaged by a lightning strike. It was all caught on camera. At the same time, temperatures are on the rise across the South. Here's ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano.
Dangerous weather conditions marking a violent end to the holiday weekend from Wyoming to the Northeast. Strong thunderstorms triggering intense lightning in Boston. This one striking a 40-foot sailboat. In New Jersey, an EF0 tornado flipping this parked car onto its side. The twister with 70-mile-per-hour winds ripping through Mount Laurel. And along the Jersey shore, massive storm clouds rolling through, sending beachgoers scrambling for cover.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap.
And this large tornado twisting across fields near Laramie, Wyoming. Significant flash flooding hitting parts of Pittsburgh, trapping a 90-year-old man in his stalled car.
I could see that the water was rising very rapidly, and, I considered my options, which weren't very good.
2 Good Samaritans racing in and pulling him out to safety.
Rob Marciano joins us now live from Central Park with a look at the week ahead. And Rob, you're also keeping your eye on a disturbance in the Gulf?
Yeah, lots of things to discuss, Tom. Very active storm-wise right now, widespread from the East Coast really through the Rockies. And we've got a severe thunderstorm watch up that's posted for Montana until 10 o'clock tonight. A flash flood watch from Pittsburgh and through D.C. Look at all the storms there. They've got heavy rain, and they're going to persist, it looks like, through the overnight into tomorrow along that front. Below that front, the heat is on. Heat indices are going to be up and over 100. That's what it'll feel like tomorrow again in Dallas and Houston and New Orleans. And they have reason to worry for potential tropical development. A little mid-level spin over Georgia will slide over the Gulf, and the National Hurricane Center thinks a 50% chance of it becoming a tropical cyclone. So anybody from Louisiana through northern Florida needs to watch this closely. Tom?
All right, Rob, thank you. Next tonight to California, where residents remain on edge, rattled by powerful back-to-back earthquakes. The 7.1 magnitude quake Friday night, seen here, rocking a backyard pool in Ridgecrest, was the largest to hit Southern California since 1999. And while some share relief the damage wasn't more catastrophic, thousands of aftershocks are still expected. ABC's Marcus Moore is there in Ridgecrest.
Tonight, communities on edge as thousands of aftershocks rattle a region already hit by 2 of the strongest quakes to hit California in 20 years. Those violent tremors igniting fires. This woman struggling to get up during the severe shaking.
We spoke with a lot of residents who are very concerned. That's why we've been trying to push. If you're not prepared right now, you should be getting prepared right now.
Officials warning of the potential for more violent tremors in the coming days. Residents aren't taking any chances.
My ceiling is cracked halfway through. I have a crack going up my wall, so it's just not safe for us to go home. So at this point, I'm just homeless.
The epicenter of Friday's quake in isolated Kern County, 11 miles from Thursday's 6.4 tremor, but felt as far away as Nevada, even Mexico. This is one of the vivid examples of how strong this quake was. Take a look at this. The ground shifting, tearing apart the earth, and leaving this scar in the desert.
To get back to a normal life, it is important that we get the help that we need to move past what we've all experienced.
Authorities tonight calling it a miracle that no one died, but urging residents to start preparing for the next quake. And first responders are prepared. You can see the heavy equipment they have on standby just in case there's another quake, but they certainly hope they don't have to use it. Tom?
Marcus Moore for us tonight. Marcus, thank you. And there's more back now with new details emerging in that massive shopping center explosion in Florida. ABC's Victor Oquendo is there with the new focus for investigators tonight.
Tonight, investigators sifting through the rubble at this South Florida shopping center, trying to determine what caused it to explode.
He heard an explosion and can see smoke. All that smoke is north of him. As you can see, grayish white smoke about 40 to 50 feet in the air.
23 injured in the blast. In the chaos, patrons at a nearby LA Fitness running for safety.
Our car is parked right by the front door, LA Fitness, and right by the front door of the pizza place, and just everything just exploded all at once.
Authorities now zeroing in on that pizza shop.
At this point, it's apparent that it did originate in the end unit of the strip mall, which did have a pizza place in it called, of all things, Pizza Fire, because that's where the bulk of the damage is.
The restaurant closed for several months, leveled in the explosion. Tom, the initial call came in as a gas explosion, and when crews arrived, they did find ruptured gas lines, but they're now working to determine if they were broken in the blast or if a gas leak, in fact, caused the explosion. Tom?
Victor Okendo with that new reporting tonight. Victor, thank you. Time now for our index in the horrific crash on a Georgia interstate. At least 7 people were killed in this chain reaction accident. Troopers say a Ford Excursion jumped the median, slamming into oncoming traffic. 4 people were hospitalized. 1 is still in critical condition tonight. And the huge World War II bomb triggering mass evacuations in Germany. Experts in Frankfurt today defusing the 1,100-pound American-made bomb. Police going door to door to get more than 16,000 people to leave their homes. The explosive discovered at a construction site last month. And a medical headline about music legend Stevie Wonder. The singer surprising the audience of London's Hyde Park, announcing he'll be taking a break from touring to get a kidney transplant in September.
You ain't gotta hear no rumors about nothing. I told you what's up. I'm good. All right?
Tens of thousands of concertgoers cheering the 69-year-old American star. Wonder telling fans he has a kidney donor already lined up. And some sad news within our Disney family. Actor Cameron Boyce, known for his roles in the Disney Channel show Jessie and the Descendants movies, has passed away. His family saying the 20-year-old died in his sleep after a seizure related to an ongoing medical condition. Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger tweeting, Boyce was filled with so much talent, heart, and life, and far too young to die. Disney, of course, the parent company of ABC News. And when we at the essence of America Strong, Team USA, that history-making World Cup win, inspiring us in so many ways. With every goal on soccer's biggest stage, Team USA was doing so much more than playing a game.
It was amazing, amazing.
With every kick, this team connecting with fans back home in ways not measured on a scoreboard.
The women's team, they're like superheroes to me. I cried like every single goal. They're awesome, yeah.
Role models in so many ways, from their diligence to their performance under pressure, speaking out about equal pay and bringing home a World Cup title.
That's it. U.S. wins their 4th World Cup.
Champions in every sense of the word.
It's so good to see like a group of women supporting each other and lifting each other up. It makes it all the better.
Their impact seen in these images from all over America. From tiny fans, like this group of little girls watching in awe from New Orleans, to these friends who grew up playing soccer together, watching every moment in the Big Apple, sending this message to Team USA from everyone back home.
Just thank you for inspiring young women, for working as hard as you have, and kind of just being a really great representation for our country.
So true, and congrats to Team USA. We look forward to that victory parade. Thanks for watching. I'm Tom Yamas in New York. GMA first thing in the morning, and David Muir's right back here tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Good night.